Yo, what's going on, guys? GZTV here. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I am up. I played Call of Duty pretty late last night, so I'm still kind of tired, but we are here with another video. We are here with our Sports Talk Mondays. We are starting with our NBA stuff, and then obviously we're waiting for the Monday night game to end for football to do the other video. But yeah, pretty much I go through the top 25 players of the week, and then, yeah, we'll just go from there. Let's get to the list here. Starting at number 25, despite injury, we still have Luka Doncic grazing the top 25. I need to go to the NBA. I usually just talk about their record and whatnot. Quite a bit of people are playing today. But yeah, despite Luka Doncic being out, the Mavericks are still a really good team. Uh, You know what I'm saying? Kristaps Porzingis is playing at a high level without Luka, so that's great. I can't find it. Man, when's the last time Luka played? Did he really not play this week at all? He must not have played at all this week. Oh my God, he didn't play at all this week, did he? Hmm. Yeah, he did play once. But I mean, Luka Doncic is a top 15 scorer, top 30 rebounder, top 10 passer, top 25 most efficient. So yeah, with that, let's move on. And I mean, they're a good, they have a good record, and he is the best player in the Mavericks. Let's move on to number 24, the best player on the Miami Heat. We have ourselves Jimmy Butler. Let's take a look at Jimmy Butler's stats and kind of analyze the Heat record for the season. Um, they're 11-6. They're really good. Jimmy Butler's a top 10 scorer, a top 30 passer, top five most efficient player, and I mean top 70 rebounder, I guess. But the defensive end really helps him shine for sure. He's had a couple multiple steal games. Honestly, most of his games he gets multiple steals. He's just a really good defender. But anyways, moving on at number 23, the best player on the Phoenix Suns, we have Chris Paul, CP3, the vet, coming in on the top 25, which you gotta love that. Are the Suns playing tonight? Yes, they are. And the Suns are on a streak, as you guys know. You guys should know this by now. The Suns are on a streak. They're 13-3. They are one of the best teams in the league with the Warriors. Chris Paul is a top 80 scorer, a top 125 rebounder, but he's a top 5 passer and top 15 most efficient player in the league. He's playing really good. They got the Spurs tonight. So they should kick their butts there. But anyways, moving on at 22, I would say the second in command on the Chicago Bulls. They have some stars this year. We have Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine for the Bulls here. They are playing the Pacers tonight, and the Bulls are 12-5. Another really good team, worth noting. Yeah, I mean he's a top 5 scorer, top 65 rebounder, top 55 passer, and top 20 most efficient player in the league. So that's pretty decent, you know. Yeah, the Bulls are playing really good, and maybe Chicago's back in sports overall because their sports over the last 5 years have been trash. So maybe Chicago sports are back. Not the Bears, obviously. The Bears are awful. But, anyways, moving on to number 21, probably the best, I would say the best player on the Jazz, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is playing at a very high level. You know, he's a top 65 scorer, the best rebounder in the NBA. He is the best rebounder in the NBA and is a top 10 most efficient. Obviously, he doesn't pass the ball a lot. But that Jazz team is 11-5, so they're really good. I mean, they've been contenders the last few years because of a guy like Rudy Gobert. So that's awesome to see. Moving on into number 20, the best player on the Toronto Raptors, we got Van Vliet. OG Anunoby actually has been playing good this year. This Raptors team really isn't that good this year, but I will say they definitely have a bright spot in Fred Van Vliet. He's been playing really well, top 40 scorer, top 95 rebounder, top 15 passer, top 70 most efficient. He's not the greatest, but he's had some really big games this year. Moving on into number 19, another, pretty bad organization here in the San Antonio Spurs at this point. They've won championships in the past, but they have a bright spot again in DeJounte Murray. He's been playing really well this year. He's a top 45 scorer, top 35 rebounder, top 10 passer. He's averaging 18, 8, and 7. Those are like Russell Westbrook numbers, damn near. He's a top 55 most efficient. They got a rough game tonight in Phoenix. I mean, they're playing pretty bad this year. They have a positive point differential. It's just they're not like finishing games, so that's unfortunate. Coming in at number 18, the best player on the Timberwolves, we have Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, the Timberwolves are not performing very well this year, but at least they got Karl Anthony Towns still after all these years. He's been with them. Top 20 scorer, top 20 rebounder, top 70 passer, top 20 efficient. I mean, he's top 20 in 3 of the 4 categories here, so he's playing really good. They got to knock off the Pelicans. They got to take advantage. They're playing the Pelicans tonight. They got to take advantage of that. Number 17, the best player. I mean, really, right now, there's not really, like, a lot of teams that have 2 top 25 players, I would say. But, Sabonis is the bright spot for a pretty bad Pacers organization, pretty mediocre. I heard Kenny Beecham talk about them, king of the fourth quarter. He was talking about the Pacers, and I definitely agree. They're very, very mediocre. But Domantas Sabonis, he's a top 10 rebounder, top 45 scorer, top 60 passer, and top 40 most efficient. They got the Bulls tonight. I'm not really sure if they're going to be able to take that down, but yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Number 16, the best player on the New York Knicks, we have Julius Randle. And in the past, he hasn't really been in this top 25 conversation. In the first few weeks, he was absolutely amazing. But the Knicks are playing good right now. I would say the Knicks are playing good. Julius Randle is a big reason for that. He's a top 25 scorer, top 15 rebounder, top 35 passer, and top 65 most efficiency. They got the Lakers tomorrow, I believe, so that'll be a good game. That'll be a big indicator of the contendership, I guess you could say, of them. Number 15, the best player, another team with the best player. On the Hawks, we have Trae Young. I mean, Hawks have definitely been struggling this year, but maybe they turn it around. They play OKC tonight. Russell Westbrook, Trae Young, I meant. It's a top 15 scorer. Not a very good rebounder, obviously, but he's second in the league in assists, and he's top 25 in efficiency. So he's definitely been able to help. I feel like he's going to have a monster game against the Thunder, and they should be able to reach 500. So that would be good news for Atlanta fans. At number 14, this is the best player on the Bulls. We talked about LaVine earlier, but this is indeed the best Bulls player. It's DeMar DeRozan. He is a top 5 scorer in the league. Top 75 rebounder. I mean, top 45 passer. But, I mean, top 10 most efficient player, and they got the Pacers tonight. So hopefully the Bulls can continue this dominant season they're having. That's that. I mean, this video is not going to be that long, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of flying through these. But number 13, we have the best player on the Grizzlies. Honestly, the Grizzlies are no more than a mediocre team right now, but we got Ja Morant. They're playing really good with Ja Morant. He's a top 10 scorer, top 60 rebounder, top 15 passer. When you're a top 10 scorer and a top 15 passer, that's just like the point guard. Like, that's just a pure point guard. That's just like what you want out of a point guard for a franchise team. And he's top 10 most efficient. And they're playing the Jazz right now. If they can beat the Jazz, that'd definitely be a statement win for the Grizzlies there. Yeah, let's and maybe at the end I'll talk about a few like things that happened in the league this week. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't really know if there's any big league headlines, but moving on to number 12. This kind of sucks because he's been suffering from injuries. He's on a really good Nets team. He is the second in command for the Nets. It is my boy on my fantasy team. It is Kevin Durant. Unfortunately, Kevin Durant has been kind of struggling over the last week with injuries and pretty mediocre games. He is the best scorer in the league, though, nonetheless. Top 35 rebounder, top 40 passer, and a top 5 most efficient player. And they got the Cavs tonight, which the Cavs are a good team, but we'll have to see if KD can take them out. I don't know if KD's playing, is he? Maybe not. I don't know. I think he is. But yeah, that should be a good game. Oh my god, let's talk about the Hornets, man. Uh, I don't know if the Hornets are playing. Yes, they are playing tonight. The Hornets, man, they're playing some high level basketball right now. I think they're on a 5-game win streak. This Washington and Hornets game is probably going to be the game of the night tonight, so make sure you stay tuned into that. Miles Bridges, man, top 20 scorer. I mean, that's who we're talking about right now. Top 40 rebounder, top 65 passer, top 60 most efficient. He's 17-5 against Washington. Those are his. That's what he did in their first meeting. Um, in the last 10 games, let's see here. He had a really good stretch at the beginning of the season, but he's still a top 15 player in the league. That's awesome. You gotta love it for Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges is looking to be an All-Star. He's definitely on pace to be an All-Star. But yeah, moving to the top 10, these guys should be considered for MVP. They're not necessarily MVP candidates, but they definitely should be considered. Some of them are on pretty bad teams, but let's talk about this guy right here, number 10. He's on a bad team. He's on that Pelicans team. No Zion. A shaken up uh, Ingram. Uh, Possibly the worst team in the league, one of them. We have Jonas Valanciunas. Um, he leads the team in points and rebounds. He's a top 35 scorer. He's top 3 in rebounding. Top 95 in assisting, which isn't impressive. But he's top 20 efficiency. I mean, the last time he played Minnesota, he put up 21 points. So hopefully tonight against Cat. I think Cat was playing too, so maybe he comes out tonight and plays good. I mean, the New Orleans Pelicans season is kind of a lost cause. I don't know if Zion is going to want to come back to a 3-15 team right now. I mean, they're probably going to be 5-20 by the time he gets back, and he's definitely not going to want to come back to that. Because I mean, I don't know. I don't think Zion's going to want to come back. That really sucks. He's on my fantasy team. I need to possibly get rid of him. But yeah, moving on to number 9, my favorite player in the league. Celtics are playing good right now. He's on my favorite team. He's my favorite player in the league. And recently, Tatum's lifted us up to be a pretty decent team in the NBA. I would say they're a good team right now in the NBA. Jason Tatum. He's top 10 scorer, top 20 rebounder, top 60 passer, top 60 most efficient. The last time we played the Rockets, he averaged 31. He got 31 points. He put up 31 points against the Rockets. The Rockets. I think the Rockets beat us for their first win of the season. I think that's what happens. Am I wrong there? I don't know. I don't think I am though. Am I? They're 1-15, and that's crazy because I think we were the only team they've beat, which is kind of sad. But yeah, Tatum, then we're gonna get it done. You know, with Jaylen Brown hurt, for Jaylen Brown being hurt, and us having like a 1-star player. I mean, Dennis Schroeder, man, he's been stepping up. Oh my goodness, he's been average. He's been. I mean, last week he probably averaged like 20 plus points at least. Um, anyways, coming in at number 8, we have 2 Lakers in the top 10, and yet they're still seen as mediocre. I mean, I'm still looking at this Lakers team as a mediocre team, even after all this. But the second in command is Russell Westbrook. He's averaging 19, 8, and 7. He's not very efficient, but you know he's a top 5 passer, top 35 scorer, top 30 rebounder. Very consistent in those categories. It's just he's not very efficient with like how many minutes he gets. He shoots up a lot of shots, and you know tomorrow they got New York. New York's going to be a pretty decent test for them to see where their season's going to go. But yeah, coming in at number 7, best player on the Nets. He's taken off this year or this week. He could be seen as he could definitely be seen as the most improved player of the week. We have James Harden. James Harden is extremely good this week. Last time they played Cleveland too, he had 27 points and 7 assists, which is above average from what he normally does. So he's top 25 scorer. He slipped in there even after being like putting up like 12-point games. He's like slipped up there. Top 40 rebounder, top 3 passer in the league, which is really what sets him apart from a lot of other players. And he's the top 30 most efficient. Again, tonight they got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's see if they can get it done. Sexton is out for the year, so really all they're going to have to worry about is Jared Allen at the rim and Darius Garland sometimes. Darius Garland's playing pretty decent. Yeah, I'm zooming through this. I kind of don't like that, but whatever. We'll just go at our own pace here. I'm not going to really worry about it. Next, we got the... He's been really the only star on this Nuggets team for years. And they're freaking 9-8. Give the Nuggets credits for some of the injuries they've gone through. They got Will the Thrill Barton, great player there. Honestly, most improved candidate. He's playing at a high level. They're playing Portland tonight or tomorrow night too. That'll be a good one. We got Jokic. He's top 10 scorer. He's the second best rebounder in the league, and he's a top 15. He's a top 15 passer and the most efficient player in the NBA. He is top 15 in all 4 categories. People like to disrespect Jokic. Oh my god, he's unathletic. He's not even like fun to watch. He gets it done though. He's leading a 9-8 Nuggets without Jamal Murray, sometimes without MPJ, and sometimes without Will Barton. Everyone on this team, even Jokic himself, he's been hurt. And he's come back and led them to a 9-8 record. So you definitely got to get the Nuggets credit. You definitely got to give Jokic a lot of credit. 26, 13, and 6. That is crazy numbers. And he even averages more assists. Honestly, if he averaged more assists, he would definitely be the MVP. I will definitely say that right now. But anyways, let's just move on down to the top 5. These are borderline MVPs. The 5 and the 4 spot are borderline MVPs, and then the top 3 are pretty much my candidates. Going in at number 5, you guys may be surprised to see this guy this low. Honestly, you guys probably think he is the MVP right now. You guys should know who I'm talking about. But after a performance like last night, obviously they won by 15. The 15-2 Warriors is who I'm talking about. They are the best team in the league. But when you have Wiggins and Jordan Poole, what do you want him to do? It is Steph Curry, the second best scorer in the league, a top 15 passer, top 5 most efficient, top 65 rebounder. And I don't think they play until Wednesday, but they play a pretty good Philadelphia 76ers team. Playing some good basketball, Philadelphia is. So, we'll have to see. Curry, excuse me, Curry is having quite the year, I would say. Um, I don't think he's MVP. I don't necessarily think that. They are 15-2. He is a top 5 player in the NBA. I'm not going to give him MVP nod. There's other players I'd give the MVP nod to right now. And I don't think it's Curry. No disrespect, I love Curry. He really got me into basketball, so I can't really hate on him at all. But he's not really an MVP right now. He can be considered borderline. But yeah, coming in at number 4, really good LA Clippers team. They're 10-7. And they're 10-7, and Paul George, man, he's lighting it up. Every single night, Paul George comes out and just dominates. He just dominates. Plain and simple. He's top 10 scorer on a 10-7 Clippers team. And honestly, the Clippers are surrounded by really good scorers. Reggie Jackson, every once in a while, Bledsoe will break out for a game. And they're playing Dallas tomorrow, and he averages 29 points and 6 assists against them. 29, 7, and 5. I would say that's a better stat line. 26, 7, and 5 is a better stat line than Curry. He may not be as efficient as Steph Curry, but if you want to compare him to Steph Curry, I feel like he's more of an MVP than Steph Curry right now. Who else does he... he has good scorers on his team, but who else does he have on his team? Curry has a rising star in Jordan Poole. Paul George does not have a Jordan Poole type of player on his team. Curry has Draymond Green, who can do damn near anything you want him to do, grabbing 14 rebounds last night. At 6'6", he can do anything. He may not be a scorer. He's the dirty work guy. He's the Dennis Rodman of the modern day NBA. Paul George does not have that guy. He doesn't have Kawhi. Yeah, Curry doesn't have another All-Star on his team, but like he got borderline All-Stars. Andrew Wiggins just got done putting up a 30-point game, and Curry put up 12. Paul George is not a slouch. I have not seen Paul George. It's been a minute since I've seen Paul George put under like 15 points. I haven't seen like let's see here. How long has it been since Paul George has there hasn't been a game all year I don't think where Paul George has put up that small amount of points. I mean, I guess he did like right before Halloween. That's it. I'm trying to make a case for Paul George here, but here are my MVP candidates. We're not even into the top three, and we're already hyping players up. But here we go. Number 3 of the Hornets, LaMelo Ball. Yes, LaMelo Ball has another All Star on his team, but my goodness, is he good? Like, look at LaMelo Ball this season. He's leading the team in assists and rebounds. He's 19-7-7. He's a Russell Westbrook style player. He's just playing more efficient than Russell Westbrook. He's a more efficient Russell Westbrook. Let's just look at it that way. You know, he's top 35 in every single category. Um, I mean, they play Washington tonight, and the last time they played him, he had 11 points and a career high 14 assists. That contributes for like 40 points, which isn't great. But dude, this Hornets team is 10-8, and I mean, they have Bridges and LaMelo. I mean, maybe you guys don't agree that he should be an MVP candidate, but I definitely do. I really like LaMelo Ball. I really like the level he's playing at right now. But yeah, moving on to number 2. Man, this guy is a beast. And I mean, LaMelo Ball, I'm sure on the defensive end is lighting it up as well. I'm not even looking at defensive stats. But like the reason why I bring that up is because this next guy is possibly defensive player of the year. Um, the Lakers, they are, yes, I get it. They're 9-9, but freaking Anthony Davis, 24-10-3 with, I mean, probably some ridiculous. He's averaging 2 blocks and a steal. Like that's why he's up here. If you really think about it, he's a top 10 most efficient. He's a top 15 scorer, top 15 rebounder. It's not easy to average 24 and 10. Let me tell you that right now. It's not easy doing that. AD makes it look easy. He may not be able to pass the ball around like some centers do in the league, but dude, it's not easy putting up 24 and 10. Definitely not. But let's just get into the MVP, shall we? The MVP of the NBA. We haven't even talked about the Bucks yet, but they're 9-8. Giannis has led the Bucks to a 9-8 record without Middleton or Holiday or DiVincenzo for like half the season, or Brook Lopez. Half of their team has been hurt, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has had to put up 27, 12, and 5. He's top 25 in every single category. He's top 25 in assists, and the rest he's top 5 in. Like, what do you want him to do? He's averaging 27 and 12 on a team with injured players. That is MVP level. I'm sorry, that is MVP level. You can't beat that. I mean, I haven't even looked at his defensive stats either. Look at his defensive stats. He's averaging 1.9 blocks and 1.2 steals. That is an MVP level stat line, and I'm so excited to see what he does. He's gonna torch Orlando. Last game he played against him, he had 32 points and 5 assists, which he doesn't normally do. Get 5 assists, but yeah, I think that's about it. You know, I was gonna talk about the LeBron and Isaiah Stewart little scuffle. It was kind of accidental by LeBron. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I guess that's my opinion. But Isaiah Stewart wanted smoke, so LeBron, you gotta be careful, man. Um, this league is ruthless. We're soft, but we're ruthless at the same time. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I know this is a highly opinionated. Honestly, it's really not opinionated. I use stats to figure out who the top 25 players in the NBA are. But let me know what you guys think. we're gonna have that NFL sports talk tonight. I'm really well versed in the NFL compared to the NBA. I like the NBA. I watch it plenty of times, but the NFL